Hey guys, it's Mr. Schmidt here, and in this video what we're going to do is talk about the idea of a firm shutting down production and going out of business. And so the question is, when would it make sense for a perfectly competitive firm, or really any firm for that matter, to shut down? And so what I want to do is, first of all, we can rule out two scenarios: when the firm is making a profit and when the firm is breaking even. In either of those cases, the firm should continue to stay in business. But if a firm is making a loss, which is probably the scenario you gravitated towards when you're thinking about shutting down, when should the firm take the loss and when should the firm not take the loss and decide to shut down? So what we're going to do here is we're just going to draw the firm this time, because the market here really does not matter for this analysis. And so we're going to draw the firm here. So marginal revenue, demand, average revenue, price. And then bring in marginal cost, the Nike swoosh. And so we're going to say the price is $5, the price from the market that the firm is taking. And where they intersect, the profit maximizing quantity, we're going to say is 10 units. So 10 units there. And then remember, because ATC, we need to put ATC above the price to show a loss. So we're going to put ATC actually way up here. And you're going to see why in a second, because it looks kind of weird why I would want to put it way up here. The reason is because I'm also going to add an average variable cost. And average variable cost is the curve that's going to tell me whether or not the firm should shut down. And so I'm going to, remember, it has to be below ATC, but it can be anywhere below. And where it falls matters, just like where ATC falls matters, right? Remember, if ATC is above the price, it's a loss. If ATC is below the price, it's a profit. And AVC has a similar relationship with the price. So we're going to put AVC above the price here. And so we're going to swing out this way and then swing up this way and make it narrower. Remember, that's the relationship between ATC and AVC. And so what we decide here is what's called the shutdown rule. So I'm going to give you the rule, and then I'm going to explain why it makes sense for this firm to shut down. And so the answer here, in terms of the shutdown rule, and I'll put it down here in red so you can add it to your notes, if the price of the firm that the firm's getting is less than its average variable cost, the firm should shut down. Okay? And that's what we have here. And so the question is, why? Why should the firm shut down here? Well, we need a few more pieces of information to make this work. So the next thing I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you the firm's average variable cost. And we're going to say that is $7. And then we're going to say its average total cost of producing 10 units is $12, okay? And so then what we're going to do is calculate total revenue, total cost, and the loss. Let's start with that. So total revenue here is going to be 10 units times $5, so it's $50. Total cost is 10 times 12, so that's 120. So we have a loss of $70. And remember, that's if they decide to produce. They're going to produce 10 units, the profit maximizing quantity. But what happens if they shut down? What would happen then? Well, if they shut down, they're producing zero output, and therefore they have zero revenue. So I'm going to do the comparison up here. So what I did below with TRTC and the loss is if they produce, at the top here, I'm going to do total revenue, total cost, and the loss if they don't produce. So total revenue here would be $0. You're not producing anything, so you don't get any total revenue. But what about total cost? How do we think about total cost here? Well, if you're not producing any output, you're going to have zero variable cost, right? Like you're not producing, but you're still going to have fixed cost, okay? And so the question is, how do we think about fixed cost here? Okay, so what are the fixed costs? Well, we can go back to get the firm's total fixed cost, because remember, total cost is total variable plus total fixed. Well, we're not producing anything, so 0 for total variable, which means total fixed is total cost. So if we find total fixed, we'll get total cost from not producing any output. So to go get total fixed, we're going to remember something here, that average total cost minus average variable cost gives me average fixed cost. Once I have average fixed cost, I can get total fixed cost by taking my average fixed times the quantity of 10. Now you may be thinking, wait a second, why are you multiplying by 10? I thought we weren't producing the output. Well, it's total fixed cost is going to be the same at 10 as it would be at 0. I know the quantity of 10, and so that's how I'm going to get it with it being at 0. So average total is 12, average variable is 7, so average fixed is 5. I multiply 5 times 10, and so total fixed cost is $50. So my total cost then is also $50. And so the loss, look at this, the loss is $50. It's less than the loss of 70. So the idea here is, if my price falls below average variable cost, I should shut down because I would rather just pay my fixed costs than also have to pay variable costs on top of that. So this is the shutdown rule, okay? The explanation, if you get it, great. Rewatch it if you're not quite sure, but at least know the rule. If the firm's price falls below their average variable cost, the firm should shut down. So that's all for this video on the shutdown rule. Until next time, have a great day.